Hello everyone, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Today we need to have a conversation about twin flame communication, what it is, what it isn't, and how it happens. Now, if you are just coming to this video, and you may even be new to the concept of twin flames or unfamiliar with how twin flame communication would be different from typical communication within a relationship, then I imagine it's confusing to you as to why I am even speaking on this. It should seem obvious that we communicate through our words, sharing our thoughts and ideas with one another in person, face to face, or over the phone, or maybe over text message or social media. But while twin flames, just like in any other relationship or connection rather, because I know that not all twin flames are in what we would refer to as a traditional romantic relationship. Within the twin flame connection, we communicate in so many deeper ways than words. And in fact, I have said in the past, and I stand by the idea that actually the physical words we exchange with our twin flame, be it in person, be it over social media, over text, that not only are these only one way that we communicate, but actually the least significant way we communicate and the most confusing in many ways, because it is the least significant. And let me just explain what I mean by that. So for twin flames, we kind of have to start back with the twin flame origin story to really get to the root of twin flame communication and have a better understanding of how you are and always have been and always will be communicating with your twin flame. So at the root of the twin flame story is this. When you were born into this earth, yes, you were born into a physical body. But this physical body is really just a vessel, a storage container, I guess you could say is another way to put it, for your soul. So within this house of your body, this container of your body is your soul. And our soul self exists on all energetic levels. So what we see with our eyes, what we take in with our senses, this is one level of reality, so to speak, what we would refer to as the 3D physical reality. But twin flames are connected from birth because this is an eternal connection. So connected from birth in this life and forever before then at the soul. So this is a soul deep connection. In fact, the highest and most intimate form of soul connection, because this person isn't just in your soul family. They don't just have a similar soul essence to yours. It's actually identical when it comes to your twin flame. And so what happens is, I'm trying not to get off on too much of a tangent here, but from birth, you are always communicating with this person through the soul. And that might sound confusing, but if you are a twin flame, you will see the manifestations of this both looking back and now in the present. So this is what we call 5D communication, higher level communication, fifth dimension communication. So whenever I say 5D, what I'm talking about is the way in which you and your twin flame are always exchanging energetic information at a soul level, or another way to say it would be speaking on a soul level, speaking without words, speaking through the energy you are sharing with one another. Now, this energetic communication occurs through the entire energy body. So the energy body is just another layer of our being. We have the physical body, which is what we think of as our body. This is our skin, what we see in the mirror. Well, the energy body is another layer of our existence, of our being. And this energy body is made up of 7 chakras, which I often talk about on my channel. There are actually many more chakras than this. This is just a generalized way that we conceptualize the energy body. Now, we think of twin flames as being connected at the literal physical heart by this invisible silver cord, it's sometimes called, or an invisible, unbreakable string. However you want to imagine it. But the reason that we say that is actually because twin flames exchange the most intense energetic information through the heart chakra, which is located in the center of the chest, where the actual physical heart is as well. So because of this intense exchange of information through the heart center throughout our entire lives, this is also why we often feel strange physical sensations from our twin flame through not just the energetic heart space, but actually the physical heart as well. This is sometimes also referred to as symptoms of a heart center or heart chakra awakening. Because basically, through receiving and sending so much information with our twin flame through the heart chakra is stimulated. And through this stimulation, it also breaks open. And I say breaks open because throughout our lives, we build walls around this heart center over time that prevent us from fully receiving and understanding consciously this energetic information we are receiving from our twin flame through the heart center. However, when we become consciously aware of this connection, usually through a physical meeting with our twin flame, and especially through being in their presence physically, we go through what's called an energetic merge, because when our auras are touching, our energetic bodies essentially are touching, because the aura extends 6 feet out from the human body. So when we're in the same room or within 6 feet of our twin flame, we go through this energetic merging, this auric merging. And at this point, we tend to exchange even more energy between one another. I know that all of this is really not only high level information, but also very difficult to entirely put into words, because what we're talking about here is energy, vibration, feeling, sensation, and then trying to find the physical words to conceptualize that, to describe that. So I feel that if you've experienced this, you will be able to connect with what I'm saying here with this material. But if not, that's okay too, because I am just through this video trying to attract the people who need to hear this, who are seeking to understand this element of the twin flame relationship specifically. So that was just a side note. But okay, so the reason I'm bringing all of this up when it comes to twin flame communication is because you have to understand you've been communicating with your twin flame energetically your entire life. And I feel that if you were following this discussion, you now have an understanding for why that is. This is also why you are always able to sense your twin flame's presence, especially when you are opening your heart center, when you are connecting with that heart space. What do I mean by connecting with that heart space? When you let your guard down, when you release your ego, when you do something you're passionate about, when you are in a creative flow state, when you are happy, when you are authentically expressing yourself, when you are doing those kinds of activities that open you up in the heart center, that literally open up your heart energetically, you are more in tune with this communication with your twin flame. Now, normally throughout our lives, this happens very accidentally. And what I mean by accidentally is you might be just relaxing, listening to a song on the radio, a love song, and At that time, your guard is down, your heart is unguarded, your ego is out of the way. You may even feel emotional as you listen to this song because you are processing the song through your heart center and your heart chakra is wide open. And at this time, you may suddenly get this intense knowing that your twin flame is speaking to you through the lyrics of that song. It's almost as though they're serenading you, and the feeling is so tangible. It almost brings you to tears because it feels so real, and it is real. This means that in that moment, you were releasing your heart chakra blocks. You were letting down the walls around your heart, connecting with your twin flame, and literally communicating psychically with them, energetically with them through your heart center. I just want to pause and say here, and this really was the main point of me making this video, because an idea keeps coming back into my mind and I need to share it with you, which is so many people misunderstand how twin flames communicate because they think that when we talk about twin flame psychic communication, that it happens through the head, through the mind. But twin flames don't communicate through their words alone. And when they do communicate, they aren't communicating through the head, through the mind, through the ego. They are communicating through the heart, literally through the heart center, through the energy. So that is just something that kind of a channeled message that I felt that someone listening needed to understand. And now how all of this plays into our 3D connection with our twin flame is really interesting because sometimes the communication in the 3D with our twin flame can be very confusing, right? Because let's say that you and your twin flame have just met and you have this deep knowing of one another naturally because your entire lives you've been communicating without realizing it probably through your energy, through this 5D communication. You meet and your words may look very shallow. They may be niceties. They may be, hello, how are you? What's your name? What do you do? Very small talk kinds of conversations. But as you are communicating through those physical words, there is so much depth happening beneath the surface. I just saw in my mind just oceans of depth beneath those words. And this can be very confusing because as someone who is energetically sensitive, as I know many of you are, you can sense that depth. You sense that even as your twin flame is saying, hello, how are you? They are peering deeply into your soul and they are feeling your energy, and you're having these energetic conversations beneath those shallow words that are hard to describe. And because they're hard to describe, oftentimes your ego will write them off as imagination or fantasy, or you'll tell yourself that because the words themselves were just small talk or seemingly insignificant, that you are imagining that deeper level meaning, but you're not. This is you being energetically sensitive. This is you understanding what is happening energetically beneath the surface of the words. And of course, it gets even more confusing if you were to try to explain this to someone else, a friend, a family member, to explain the depth that is there. You wouldn't be able to because they wouldn't be able to. They can't sense the energy you're feeling within this connection. So I just feel someone listening needs to know that you are valid for feeling this depth, for feeling beneath the words, whatever is happening with you and your twin flame, whether there is a silence of those physical words between you, no words being exchanged at all, or whether the words are just small talk, or even when the words are seemingly negative. And by that I mean maybe the words seem to show a disconnect. If you were to just interpret the literal words between you, it would look like you were pushing each other away. It may look like you don't care about each other or you don't value each other. But you know in your heart and soul that you value and prioritize and love unconditionally, truly, purely love one another more than it is possible for you to feel that unconditional love for any other soul on the planet. And you know it is reciprocated in your heart and soul because you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your energy, you sense it intuitively. But the words do not reflect that. Know that you can trust what your intuition is telling you. You can trust the way in which you are reading this energy, even if the physical words themselves do not reflect what you are energetically sensing. I just needed to say that because I really feel like someone needed to hear that right now. Another thing that I want to say is when it comes to twin flame communication, the lines or the wires can get crossed. And this is because we are not only soul, we are human. And as I said earlier, twin flame communication occurs through the energy, through all 7 chakras, but predominantly through the heart chakra. So imagine that you are speaking or even yelling, but you are in a soundproof room. Is the person on the other side of that door going to hear you? No. With twin flames, sometimes the wires become crossed when it comes to communication, and this same kind of thing happens. When twin flames, usually out of necessity, usually out of a lot of hardship and pain that they experience early on in life, especially in childhood, they tend to create walls to protect themselves, what we could envision as walls around the heart. These walls are like the walls of that soundproof room in the metaphor I just shared. And even though within those walls, your twin flame feels an intense, undeniable love for you, they desire more than anything in the world to be with you. When those walls are up, you won't be able to hear that. Except in those moments when the walls are broken down or there is a crack in one of the walls. And so this is how twin flames lack clear communication, because usually it's not even one person that has walls up in the connection. Because your twin flame is your mirror soul, as we talked about in the last video, because they reflect to you all of your blocks, all of your wounds, everything that needs to be healed. If they have walls up, you probably have similar walls up as well. So it becomes even harder to communicate with one another. Even energetically, you may feel at times as though you aren't feeling them. And this is usually because you both have these walls up. And because you have these walls up as well, you aren't even in tune as deeply with your own intuition in that moment. You are hearing them, seeing them through your ego. Your vision is clouded because you are trying to protect your heart, and that is okay. It is okay that you had to put those walls up. If you are the person with these walls up, know that there is nothing wrong with you. Those walls are there because at one point in time they protected you. You needed to have those walls. But also, you now need to know that it is safe to break them down. It is safe. Sorry, I felt myself just choking up a little bit because I feel some of you really need to hear this, but it is safe to let down your guard, to let down your walls. It is safe to authentically express yourself, to love unconditionally, not only others, not only your twin flame, but yourself. And in unconditionally loving yourself, ironically, because of the nature of the twin flame connection, your twin flame will feel the unconditional love you are giving to yourself as though you are giving it to them because you are. Because anytime you choose yourself, you are choosing your twin flame. Now, if you'd like to accelerate your healing through the heart chakra, to clarify, to clear your communication with your twin flame, to open your heart to your twin flame, not just to energetically receive more clear communication from them, but physically in the 3D as well. I have created a brand new subliminal meditation on my website that is very powerful for clearing and opening communication between twin flames. I designed this subliminal to not only open you up energetically to release heart chakra blockages within yourself, which of course will release them within your twin flame as well, but also to quite literally and specifically manifest forms of physical 3D communication with your twin flame. So this will be however you personally communicate with your twin. I created it so that however you communicate in the physical, whether it's through dreams, whether it's through text message, through social media, through phone calls, in person, however you desire to connect with them physically, to communicate physically, this subliminal will open that line of communication. You can learn more about it by checking out the pinned comment under this video or the description box. I will be sharing in those spaces some benefits energetically you can expect to receive both personally and within your twin flame connection by listening to this subliminal. And when you create a 7-day free trial account on my subliminal site, you can access this specific meditation as well as any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created, many of which are designed specifically for twin flames. So be sure to check that out. I also just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you who are already using my subliminals, sharing your success stories, sharing the positive shifts and benefits and transformations you have been experiencing from listening. I am so grateful for each and every one of you for your support and for simply co-creating here with me on this channel, for energetically supporting me through your presence here. If I resonated with you and this video struck some kind of an energetic chord with you, I really hope you'll consider subscribing to this channel, joining our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.